Hello, and welcome to New Beginnings Start Today, the podcast for people who really want to grow in their faith in the Lord. I'm your host, Dr. Douglas Keffer, a minister, licensed clinical pastoral counselor here in Roanoke, Virginia, and I have a passion to help people live their faith. Today, we're going to talk about hardships. They come in life, and how you can deal with those hardships in ways that they do not steal your life away. Let's look at this. There are many hardships that you have to deal with in your lifetime. How we deal with those hardships depends on where we get our strength to face what the day brings us. The Bible presents hardships as inevitable realities of life in a broken world. It promises God's presence, comfort, and purpose within them. Living with these promises allows us to face our day with a hope that so many of those who live around us cannot even imagine. I read about the life of Joshua and what he faced when his mentor Moses died, and he was faced with the responsibility of leading God's people into the promised land after wandering through the wilderness for over 40 years. Listen to what God said to this man. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened. Do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Proverbs 1 and verse 9. God wanted this man to be assured that what he and his people were facing, they did not have to face it alone. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Friend, whatever has been thrown at you that you see as a hardship, I want you to believe that if you have a personal relationship with God and His Son, Jesus, you are not facing it alone. It may seem like that at times, but God is right there with you, and He wants to give you the courage to face that situation with faith that it is going to work out, and you are going to be okay. Hardships in life are expected, not strange. We live in an evil world where Satan is working his evil deeds all day long. He wants you to believe that what you are dealing with is someone else's doing and that you are the victim of those circumstances that are so unfair. That is a lie that you have to fight, because it's the work of his evil that brings these hardships upon your life. He uses other people and situations that are out of your control to bring the effects of what it is that you have to deal with. Why? Because Satan doesn't want you to put your trust and hope in what God has promised you. He wants you to get caught up in the circumstances so that you will try to deal with them on your own, and he knows that you are not able to do so. This is why so many people get overwhelmed with what is going on in their lives and get distracted by what is happening and cannot find the strength or courage to deal with it according to their faith. I have sat down with so many people over the years that this is what was happening to them, and they were truly lost in knowing what to do. I had a couple come to me for marriage counseling. He had a very responsible position with a large company here in Roanoke, and she, too, had a very responsible position. The wife presented with how she felt that her husband did not take responsibility for his actions and that he was manipulating her in a way that made her look unstable. I soon saw that the husband was exhibiting narcissism And anything I tried to point out to him that he was doing to undermine the marriage, he immediately turned everything back on the wife. And she was just imagining things. When the husband saw that I was not going to buy into his nonsense, he quit coming to counseling because I'm not doing anything wrong. The wife continued to come to counseling because she knew that she did not have the skills to deal with her husband, and she wanted to learn how to. I showed this wife and mother that she did not have to do this alone, that God knew all of her needs and wanted her to give her the wisdom and courage to be able to do what was necessary to fight the hardship of her husband's behavior. This is what Paul shared with the Corinthians, or the Christians, in Rome when he said, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:23. She soon learned that God was working in her life and that she could stand up to her husband's manipulation and be strong with the Lord's help. This woman knew that the hardships she faced in her marriage did not need to overtake her faith, and she put her trust in what the Lord was doing to make her strong and protect her son from the effects of her husband's evil doings. Hardships are used to develop endurance, character, and hope. They can act as fatherly discipline to lead believers to share in God's holiness. The Apostle Paul confirms these truths when writing to the Christians in Rome, when he writes, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." Romans 5, verses 3 and 4. I know all too well how difficult it is to hear what Paul told those Christians that our sufferings produce when we are right in the middle of a situation that wants to steal our lives away. I want you to believe that what you are dealing with or have dealt with that was truly a hardship did or does not have to define you or what lies ahead of you. Your hardships will allow you to grow in your faith that the Lord is fighting the battle with you, and it is He who will give you the victory. This is how perseverance produces character, which gives you hope. So many of you need that hope because of what you are dealing with, because that is suffocating you. I know that the Lord is faithful and He hears your prayers as you pour out your heart. When you sit and beg God to hear you with tears running down your face, take heart, because He does hear you and can help you get through that hardship by persevering in your faith. The Apostle Paul gives us great insight into the importance of endurance, character, and hope when he talks about his hardships of having a thorn in his flesh. Listen to how he describes this hardship when he writes, "Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But He said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. 1 Corinthians 12, 7b through 10. This man had to trust his relationship with Christ to sustain him in all that he faced. And in doing so, he acclaims, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." I want you to stop right now and identify the greatest hardship you are facing or have faced. I now want you to think about how you are dealing with that problem or how you have dealt with it and what the outcome was and what you are begging God to do in the situation that will give you victory over it. Is the hardship in your marriage, dealing with an issue with your child, having a coworker who is attacking your character at work with untruths that may cost you your job, a family member who accuses you of wrongdoing that is causing other family members to distrust you and what you say, an addiction that has you struggling from day to day by stealing your happiness and joy, and it seems that whatever you do, the urges keeps coming and you give in, or your finances that have you fearful of not being able to pay your mortgage or your everyday expenses. These are all very real issues that many of you are facing right now, and you do not have a clear picture of how you are going to get through those hardships. I am here to tell you that you cannot get through them. You cannot get through these hardships by yourself, on your own. The Apostle Paul shares with us the way that you can get through what you are dealing with by humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5, verses 6 and 7. Please take time to listen to Peter's admonition to the Christians of the first century. They too faced very difficult hardships, and he encouraged them to humble yourselves therefore under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. In God's mighty love for you, that will get you through those very difficult situations. It's his mighty love. It is a reality that you are going to face hardships throughout your life, that we will be able to deal with them much better when we believe that we are not alone in them. James, the half-brother of Jesus, says it well when he says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." James 1, verses 2 and 3. When he talks about trials, he is talking about the hardships we face in life. Your faith is tested every day. And when you live with Jesus as Lord and Master of your life, you can and will persevere. What a promise to live by in this evil world. You can get through those hardships and find joy again. Thank you for listening to this episode. And I want to invite you to contact me and share how you are facing your hardships with the Lord's help. Answer this question. What are you doing differently today about your hardship than yesterday? If you're seeing this on YouTube, please click the subscribe button and the like button, and also click on the share button and share it with all of your friends. That would be so helpful. Tell me about other issues that you would like me to address by leaving your comment, or you can email me at drdouglaskeffer@gmail.com. I also encourage you to pick up a copy of my book, New beginnings start today with God at drdouglaskeffer.com. Click on the link below. Until next